gravity, your love and over. Or a shoe for the jumping, even your arms never. The world to open wide for the dirt, for the heart was mine. Gravity pulled me down, but the weight is heavy for the try to fight it. For this to be the hell me steady for the into your eyes, and I can see the hope of it. Without 50-second thought for the falling and falling, the spiraling out of control for the heart to beat now that I can find the love that speaks and never know where to go. And I snuck in and I didn't know. Free falling with whatever to start her off with bliss. This is turned into the trash and quick enough to end. It's closer now for the city from the pulling down for the closer to beat of the ground for this and where but around. But I'm stuck now for your love to just hand me down. And I can press rewind for the not this time, but the can you catch me over the will be the love of the lines over the river. You can truly love this.
worthy for the sea, the fish, and fill the fishermen, and for the food, for the abundance and the life is sacred. The Father, for the love and the life and the shine through your darkness and give us light. Death, fear, not love. Not my homie, over the brother, for the savior, your birthright, righteous, for the likeness, and maybe bear witness, and everything you bear it. For the glory of the blood, for grace, for the sincerity, for the authenticity, for the humility, for the commonality, for the forgiveness and understanding of the divine and common community. The compare is not to be, compete for the compassion, for the commitment, for the relatable, to be with whom interact, to come, to become. As became manifest, this is Jesus' name and not in vain. For the rain and not rain over the realm, for the high washing, for the judgment, the sins away, for the alignment, for the way, the truth, the light, and not to be the service, the service, the truth, the living, for the God, kind of humankind, for the created, the living light. So good as it is, and for the good to see that anything for the good, for that you can make it, whether it will be in your own heart, for the come to be for the goodwill, that may I be the quick to look into my first. Myself first, another, righteous, another, and only whether your will, the way, be done in truth, the default, defend, as defense and not aim, and damage made, the circumcising of my heart, implemented dust, betrayed, rediment for the statues and law, the lie for the body, the straight paths, the obtuse not to be, the reign perpetual, the yet reformable, the rock, the spirit for the breath.
And I thank you for your care. Your love is ongoing and sometimes, but I always that you were almighty and your mercy endures always, and for your promise in that we don't compromise on what may be worthy of your benevolence to be true, and of your likeness to be reflections of you, Yahweh, and always and true. Your word spirit that will be and will, and convene that I will be given us into the comforter for the gift of the uplift and what we were down is to find the downfalls and the can beyond, believing in the entering and the knowing of the being. With you will never apart from the part of the walk, part of the seas, and if it can renew the minds and the hearts and the arm to walk through to be holy, for that you were the spirits to be the earth and heaven for the builders, so that this would be the new earth and new Jerusalem for the new kingdom for the new life. And what we do for but the eyes of this is seen, the ears are not heard. Do not just be content for the nominations for the inspired, but implore all of your beloved for the creation, the return source. This is where we belong. Became whole for the imperfection and for the perfect in your eyes, never be I am as you are. To want not and you be all our needs and what to be all in all, but in the glory for the life and the may be wise, not to follow, not dumb kings and the queens of the heirs of the kingdom, but even the heaven you have a new creation that the works to be involved and evolve within, never without that you are the piece of the unconditional, for that you are just the justice, this protection, for the provider, for the provision, for the prolific, for the free will. This is obedience and rather than a sacrificial. By the passion we should be like you is not in order for the agreement, for the likeness to the Yahweh, to the praise, to the worship of your worship over your troubled waters, and have the peace and be still. God, you are more than a name, but more than a reason. For the reason I have to comprehend, for it would be long and humble, but to seek to pay peace. A place for your dwelling and abode for the one from within, not to be this trapped and wrapped in the wrong, but just the knowing of the growing and the telling. God, to the sanctify, for the multiply, the supplication for your communion, the community, for the collective, for the selfless, this is love bound. Implore all in the heavens and earth to dance in your joy dance, this in the spirit and dance. And hallelujah for the dancers shouting harmony for the septic and the seating and the assembly. To resemble the resonating for the reason. We ate the bread, to drink the blood, covered for your resurrection, and for the promise kept. This is the amazing grace of this, we are not blind. Now see and give sight to the blind, now hear the give sheep with voice by name, for this is the shepherd in your pastures in Green Valley, and milk to honey. Sweet, peace, sweet land. Mercy for love of the light, salt, earth to be seasoned for blessed the garden.
Eve and Adam, for the atoms of the elements of your table, for the altar of your temple, the throne, the precious love to be eternal and not temporal. Tempted and not timid, but it's just one time, one Lord, and I'm waiting, not to be wasted. When you return are never the welcome, your arrival for the Lord of hosts, this is still the walk. The earth never left us, it became near us, for the closer the walk, the hallowed will be your name. It will be done on earth and as in heaven, for the give us this day, for our daily bread, for the forgive us as we forgive others, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil, from the power, for the glory, the kingdom, from the power, which can be there forever. Hallelujah, in the holy name and name.
I keep a smile, carelessly physique, painted carefully over the pain layers, a case this casual confidence and brushed on thick for the nothing underneath of the writing, over this to be the stolen of the chillers, the colors I chose of this and never, over the asking, for the hiding, and sometimes the confessing, over the safe. Full back to back, sometimes the hope that lies to be for the familiar voice, and when it do, for the open and quickly and surely over the methodically, over the someone to take the time for this is something they don't expect. Ripped wide for the careless intent, handing the pretending of the innocence of the learning of the architecture for the weak points. This is left bleeding in the crimson red for the vistas and uncontained. This is breaking through the smiles upon the spilling of this cross of silence that is pulling in place. No one wants to acknowledge this step around it, for this is to always do with the smile that remains. Obedient like that, stay stitched to the face of the wild, everything beneath it unravels in private and status and growing heavy enough for the ignorant to collect smacks. This grains gravity for the compressing yourself into the something intense you find dangerous. It presses on my lung, on my spine, part of me. This is the fun that still believes that this is honestly for this and not for the self-harm. Try to hold it, this is closer. This is when you know reveal the damn jokes are just the politeness is not a fine. Just convincingly enough for the dams to fail blind for what they do for the person. This is rivers that through me, for the violent and uncontrolled, for the pouring into the dark clouds of the pain and anger, for this is half the clear too long, for the circle to be ignored, for the thoughts in my chest, where the thunder lives inside of an lightning that fractures my calm. Flood water for the dragon memories, and trust in names faces. This is all of it for the downstream, for the sea the storm. Call it sudden and never remember for how they offer the sharp in the sky, for the afterwards, for this expected for the clean up yourself, for the apologizing for the mess of the smile again, for this to be the devastation with no evidence in the rebuilding of the mass, and you can find it smoother or less human, tied into the hurts until the forget for what this fine face looks like without the restraint, for because the bleeding opening of it, just to be talked thin, for the cut the deeper do with the linger over what hurts the most of the time, enough for the being to dismantle mistakenly. Breath for care for this time, healing with it. What survived of disguise, this grace is somewhere beneath the smile, for the beneath the paint, this is the one, the bleeding and the quietly, beautifully, never look the world admire, for the damage and never the know the damn the truth. I wish it was simple enough to lay everything down at your feet, releasing for what they're holding back from without asking if the body hurt. I asked for the permission for the walk into the rewriting of the room for this consumed, without the asking for the leaning over what the world goes to smile, for the dangerous slope for the sitting out of time, for the already late for the catching her life of the tongue to be the art for the being lived and not to reach. And to teach without the question of a meaning, and then you're gonna find the sudden remembering of the truth and better over the deep inside of this being all of it. All along.
You know how to feel all alone and always doing the what's wrong when I never did what to do, but to do right for this is what you touch, you never did have to be. Chains across the car, the lowering in the darkness of the waves. Reluctant, succulent for the reverence, to feel the ambition, for the feeling of the denying out for the honor and the evening, and for the clicking of your vessel, for the feeling of the continue, the process of the endless breaking of the soul, for you can find it. Sensation of standing ourselves and humbled over the threat for the non-existent possibility, for the through the wind, for the rain dawn, down the throat over the impossibility, for the down to suffocate from your failure, for the potential for the constant rain frame, for the distraction for the achieving of the godhood, over the abyss of the notion, for the rising into the world. The long for the forgotten, for the imprint, word over the rain, over the suffering of the death, for the deconstruction, for the with the reclamation, over the with the recollective, for the memory, the hope, or for the connection. Which we are plead for this to do the shed, for this is sacred, the bleeding, for the ritual that you can have the retribution for your punish shape, find yourself, for this is many parts of your path and how aspects of your harmonious in revelation to you back and over your pocket as the shining of glory. The vision of the glorious image for your blasphemous monstrosity, for the ring, for this abuse stretching over the cross the realm, for the seeking over your power, for the kindred, and over your witness and join the vengeance. Upon the earth, over the throne, for this was crowded over your devoted and kneeling and worshiping over the sea was the face of this within the dream. Completely for the flock of the shivering, over the shining, over the reveling, over the laughing, for the tears begin to flood the fate and hate the kingdoms of the creation for the purpose of here, for you can see it. But don't let the ignorance befall you. False reality for the reside is not the truth. It is to be the abomination of what was once imperfect, for the tragedy over the feeling of what your potential is to the limitation, over your jealousy for the feeling with the unsuper for your kingdom for the here, the different, and now the next on the chain. And the claim for the rise to die, for the rumble within, for the taking from the feet, for the in front of the super, for the bounty eradication, for you to be the poverty, for the reverence into the truth, and for forsaking the paradise. And of course, you got me after for real, the false reality, for the residing of what is not true. You count on the applause of the crowds and when you wanted to be eternal, for the crowded applause of the round of the pompous of the dwarf, for the contemplate, where the contemplates, the ideal for the consider that for the great mass. You don't even believe it what the imperial belongs to, or none of them for the standing on a pedestal, for the change of the faith, for the subjects of none of them are earth, and think the servants of the flock, that for the prophets of the sage and righteous, for the man behind the tables of kings, and you can find the crab and like the poison, for the mercury, for the heart begin to speak. And the ordinary for the building, and among the ordinary people, for the Lord is whipped up, for the attribute, for this attribute, for the illusion, every for the man of God is everything, for the most important, for the fascination, for the measure, for the doom of the soul and annihilation. In the darkness of the wolf, for the everybody wants the sunshine, for crave the dark, for this need to hear the call, for the wolf, for this will be the force, is still here, for not to where to go from here, for this is still back forward, for the slide back to the empty cup, for the drink it dry, that love that painted us. The ground level for the where we about the others to think about what their thoughts serves, for the urge to guide, for the shape that shows someone mind, for they can't make the world through your eyes, and I can find the day. This is how the bullying works. This is find the big box of the fresh beef, for the going to the store with the winter stay, for the owning of the for the third, for the second, for the tramp of the dreams, and the knots of the scarecrows come to life, for this is back to the bury the past day. And wipe your tears before the dry because you don't want to wipe with the etch of the memories, so to say the water so direct to take everything away for the bad day. For the see the wrong, for the decisions made, for the simple the mistake, for the see past all those the same as when I blink. An epitaph of life, for this is said to be the funeral, for this is time to find it quite disturbing and enough, for this to try to be enough, for the try harder, for the impetus to call, for the softly burn, for this is silhouette upon the casting upon. And should I do without the pain? With the caring for the round, for the soul, for the bags, to the fill with the nothing, and the overreaching, for the you could probably throw the hands in, for the cast call, for the built light in the arm. For the tank, for the cover, for the camouflage, and no blank shadows of disbelief, the mirrors to tell you what you wanted to hear, for the embracing the shadows, so to carry the burden over your life to work with you. And the there is the cruel irony for the precise time, stand for the progression of what you thought in the past that brought me here, for it was the avalanche of what the autopilot, for the maturity, forgot the human, for the inhalation of the engine, of the mill, with the exhale, for the field borrow. With the Catholic seek to this light to begin, for the turmoil in the quiet room, for the restness of the peace of the what has been found. In the healing stage, long ago for the demon, to get it right for the time, for the soul, to find the words that was never cost a dime. The chip away at the sanity, for the come to know the best. This is a dragon shadow for the stark of the slow. The fire stare of the illumining over the outward gleam. Starts in the morn for the measure, for the scoring by the psychotic.
And had it coming, but you didn't see me for this. She is a loser for the bitter, as a lemon for this. To be ripping, to squeeze it, antagonize your lips and soar for the word for the imperfect ideals. Make me happy, the words land soft this morning like quiet, spark the lift over the room for the glad to make you happy, for the happy you're still that you don't know me, tell me so. Angel eyes said you came into the lonely little world for the fool. Spoke like rain against the window pane for the softest word. For the gentle hush of whispered promise, and I let him move as a blind to the omen. With the visible line, with the eyes, and you over yourself at the word phrase, a single line of hers. Spread of the wings in this divine veil. Glad sheets this find into the oblivion for the someone to hold. Head high for the sadness that this pain falls from. Sometimes they're sweetest in the sensation the souls are reaching for. A revolutionary less is more for the understanding of one's ego must be. Or what maybe half of that will eat. Touch me for the hate, the inconsistency, for the wrestling with the potential, for the killing the game, for the knowing to have to show the love. Or architect of the bread for the stove, that you can find the rest of checks, discipline, to find the streets of this kitchen over the grind. But a waste away the sorrows, a wave for another day for the coming of what may come, go, leave or stay. No return, or there was going to go back. But to make yourself mind to find the smallest of the yard for the yeller for this. Sometimes your accidents to beat it, and sometimes we're kicked out of the water pot for the bark. Or sometimes you should know what comes after dark for will grow for the fertile ground. Your exercise lesson more for the mind, so the instrument for the becomes a poor polishing with the use of this midnight for the stretching of the course of this like the hand for the setting in the distance with the sky. Waiting for them. Or fear that the ending is near. I fear the ending is here. But that's the fear. With the fear to hear, to fear to find what's near for the salute the sky, for this assault the wind for the starlight. And how do I love the body that isn't yours, or the bitter in front of the lab report? To the keys to the final contingency, with the meets wisdom, with the forging result. And every turn for the no for the turn, for the never the know that already somebody, for the nobody behind me. For your own demise, the paradoxical, for the life of. Tell you one to love, the one to be better for the without the poem. What is the poet without the poem? For the butterfly, for the season, for the yet to be the world, for the romance, and this to find the 3 times, and one to find a turn, for this is better, for the last, and this will be the bitter, for the word, for the intense, and this brave to be stand. Curb with the forge of the freedoms of fire, for the distance that showed with the homeless and land, for the art of the brazen, find the fire, to the desire.
Timestamp. Find relevance of the broken, bend the need for the break. Destroyed every part of me, the good, hope, and break, shape. What's the bitterness and not the quality for the one chose? The manifest after defeat for the bitterness only makes that man for this alone. Soon consume one monetary feeling to become obsolete, disused. Moments in the eyes meet the love of this life, this to be the burning around. Then for the pale in the compensation over your comparison to the fire, but igniting together. So who am I for the who to know anymore for each? Fight it out of time for the fire to occupy the mind for the can't sit still.
thoughts run wild, forget all you know for the who you think you are, for everything that's made out of it. It's gone. Like watching over the snowfall mountains and never flaking another person's who's once met, for the same two perfectly falling snowflakes this for one another, for they're not the same. The symmetry for the love, for the one to be such sweet bliss to running through golden grain fields, for the innocence of a child, for the capable of falling in love with the sight is the reality, for the eventually that you can look back into the pinpoint, scorn to the new, ground, the mind to the heart, not yet. Perfectly untouched for the destruction, the emotion, the pain, and this is the peace and deeds. I've been in the peace for years, restlessly, for this has been the time, but the dark to watch all the eyes blasphemy and the freedom for this to be. Watch the ocean fleet. Fret for not to know the wind, for the battle ready, for the you can have the land and hush this hour, for the deep wild. The smile, the smell, the daisies of the bringing over your thought, for the feeling you find full white petals on the speckle over your steps. Far away for the being, far from the way for the beat. You listen to me for the better than anyone ever has. This and then for the something familiar with you can have the same time. The world will show you things of everything. It says to give up but just another day for the system to expect you not to understand, for the try to unexplain yourself, for that's the mean to brighter look in your eyes to the scene of fire for the brighter passion to burn, imperfect for the look of the glance of this in between, where anything and everything in between for the random thoughts of this divine the day you can't forget, for the can't receive, recreate for the natural unforced, this random, imperfect, ways that we are, faces to the time for the place to where we felt myself and never felt before. Pace, walk with you, seen the point.
The timestamp, fine relevance of the broken bend, the need for the break, destroyed every part of me, the good hope and break, shake. Rest the bitterness and not the quality for the one chose. The manifest after defeat for the bitterness only makes that man for this one soon consume one monetary feeling to become obsolete, disused. Moments in the eyes meet the love of this life for this to be the burning around. And then with the pale in the compensation of the comparison to the fire, but igniting together. So who am I for the who to know anymore for each? Divided out of time for the final occupied mind that can't sit still. Thoughts run wild and forget all you know for who you think you are, for everything that's made out of it's gone. Like watching over the snowfall mountains and never flaking another person's who's once met, for the same two perfectly falling snowflakes this one another, for they're not the same. For the symmetry for the love, for the one to be such sweet bliss, for the running through golden grain fields, for the innocence of a child, for the capable of the falling in the love of the sight is the reality, for the eventually that you can look back into the pinpoint, scorn to the new, ground remind to the heart not yet, perfectly untouched for the destruction of emotional pain, and this is the peace and deeds. I've been in the peace for years, restlessly, for this has been the time, but the dark to watch all the eyes blasphemy of the freedom for this to be. Watch the ocean fleet, and fret for not to know the wind, for the battle ready, for the you can have the land hush this hour, for the deep wild, the smile, the smell, the daisies of the bringing in over your thought, for the feeling of fine full, like petals in the speckle over your steps. Far away for the being, far for the way for the beat. Listen to me for the better than anyone ever has, this and then for the something familiar, but you can have the same time. The world will show you things of everything. Says to give up but just another day for the system to expect you not to understand, for the try to explain yourself, for that's the mean to brighter look in your eyes to the scene of fire for the brighter passion to burn, imperfect for the look of the glance of this in between, where anything and everything in between for the random thoughts of this divine day that you can't forget, you can't receive, recreate for the natural unforced, this random, imperfect, the ways that we are, faceless of the time for the place where we felt myself and never felt before. Pace, walk with you, seen the point, walk the light together for the we were at different places and paths, this beat, not the laugh, the rush up. The moron in the mountains that ever said enough of the great feeling whenever over your busy country, over your colors and perfect and nothing paint, brushes the shades of the rainbow scattered over your sky. Was a journal over the thoughts to myself of the cliff and over your half that completely over the truly you never knew. I was there for it just to be the taste of what you find a ribbonness over you. Was to break the heart point for this palette, with the counsel of the hearts of the because that only event. The hearts to melt, the fade to venture, silence whisper softly, dreams inside still.
release.